So some of you guys already know I have been tuning my 8th gen Honda Civic LX with the Hondata Flash Pro. We are going turbo this season, boys, but right now we're still just playing around with the software with Hondata, with adjusting the tune, and we're doing it naturally aspirated. And from the last video, we were replacing the mass airflow sensor to try to see what is our culprit for this fluctuation of air-fuel ratios that we are seeing, fluctuations in short-term fuel trims that we are seeing, and I replaced that mass airflow sensor. Now, it looked promising at first, but once we drove it, put the car back into the stock tune, it was still pulling fuel. We were adding too much fuel, it was running rich in general, so I ended up running that mass airflow sensor from the junkyard Honda Odyssey for a couple days, try to see if I can work with it. But I ended up going back to the original sensor since I already had it dialed in a little bit better. So it's probably not a mass airflow sensor, which we thought it was. It's not an O2 sensor since we got a brand new O2 sensor on there from Denso. So I'm thinking either this is all normal, or you know, it still could be a culprit of some leaky fuel injectors here and there that are causing the running rich condition, especially in closed loop. So I decided to use the Hondata tune. So as you guys know, we did add 2 degrees of timing into the tables here for the ignition tables, and essentially what we did, we went into this segment right here, this tune segment. So if we click on that tune segment, we're going to see what's the difference here. It does offer some fueling differences, ignition timing differences. I only copied the ignition table right here. I already had my fuel pretty much dialed in, wide open throttle. I was running about 12.25 air-fuel ratio at wide open throttle, and I thought that's a pretty good range to add ignition timing. Now, if you guys don't know, air-fuel ratios will affect power. Something between 1250 to 13 air-fuel ratio will give you the best performance on a naturally aspirated vehicle. Again, the air-fuel ratio will depend on what kind of vehicle you're running, the fuel you're running, the compression ratio of the engine. But we decided to tune it a little bit more conservative with a little bit more fuel, around 12.25 air-fuel ratio right there. And as you can see, where we had 28 degrees of timing right at this last box, now we have 30 degrees of timing. So essentially, all these boxes right here from the beginning under high load have 2 degrees of advanced ignition timing, and what that means is the spark plug fires 2 degrees before the piston reaches the top, which is top dead center. So that should increase performance. It also is gonna cause a little bit more wear on the engine over the long-term life of the engine. So before you guys decide to advance ignition timing on your vehicle, make sure you're running premium gas. I have been running premium gas since I got Hondata. I've been beating on this thing every single day, just trying to dial it in. It's running good. I've noticed so many variations on how the car feels based on the tune, and if it's running right, if it's running wrong. I noticed that the engine sounds different if it's running richer. I've noticed it sounds different when it's running leaner. But you could definitely tell increase or decrease in performance and smoothness depending on the tune. So again, we're just trying to dial that tune in. We're trying to make it smooth, responsive, and we want the air fuel numbers to look good at wide open throttle. Now, once we decided to go 2 degrees advanced timing, I'm going to pull up some data logs for you guys, and we're going to see what happened here, because we did run into some problems. As you guys can see right over here, we have a log from March 20th, and essentially look at this red count right here. This is the knock count, and we went from having 1 knock count to 2 knock count to 3 knock count. So this zone right here is causing a lot of knock. Now let's zoom in on that zone right here, and what we can see from this zone, from where it went from 1 count to 2 count to 3 count, look at the RPMs right here. We are roughly around 5,000 RPMs, and we are getting knock counts. So what happened is our knock sensor is picking up a misfire, a spark plug misfire, ignition misfire, and that is not good. We're also, with this misfire, we're retarding the ignition timing by 2 degrees. That's why you can see it's 26 when it should be 28 or higher. So we did notice this throughout many pulls, right? So we were doing a few pulls and we noticed this misfire. Some of it is ghost knock, but the higher RPM pulls are definitely misfire. So one thing I wanted to do And what you can do to compensate a misfire is make the air fuel mixture more rich, right? You want to dump more fuel into the combustion chamber in order to decrease that knock. So that's what we did. You know, we added a little bit more fuel. But before we added more fuel, here's another data log of the knock. Again, the knock right here, we got 6 count to 7 count. Again, it's around that 5,000 RPM red line mark. So we ended up adding more fuel. So if you look at this pool right here, where before we were running 12.25-ish air fuel ratios, look at this wide open throttle pool. I mean, we're running 11.8 air fuel ratios. And at this specific run, there's no knock, but it was still knocking. I did pick up a lot of knock on many other logs around the same area. So at that point, I decided to just decrease the ignition timing tables in that area where it was knocking. So what I did, I went to ignition low. Again, the last 3 tables is where ignition timing was advanced. So from 4,500 to 5,500, I took that and I actually decreased the ignition timing by 1 degree. So remember, it advanced 2 degrees. We took 1 degree out just so we can still maintain that benefit of power and performance, but reducing knock. So once we reduced that ignition timing right around that area where it was knocking, we noticed a great improvement in the knock count, very much non-existent at this point. So once the knock was eliminated by decreasing that ignition timing by 1 degree from the Hondata tune, we started tuning back up the air fuel ratio at wide open throttle. Again, you guys saw wide open throttle, the hell just happened? Oh, we're on traction control now. So as you guys see, air fuel ratios went from 11.8. We picked that back up to around 12.3, 12.4, sometimes 12.5. We were just trying to make a smooth air fuel ratio curve, and we did run into some problems right around here. It used to peak right here. We have a lean spike right around this area, and I was looking at the voltage range. So we had a lean spike anywhere from 3.9 volts to 4.1 volts, right? It would run around 12.8, 12.7, sometimes 13 air fuel ratio, right around this voltage range. So we had to increase that fuel in that area, and essentially what you guys have to do in order to increase fueling, we're still running a math-based tune, so we have to go back on sensors, AFM. We're gonna find that voltage right here where it was running lean, and again, it was running lean right around 3.9, 4, 4.8, even this one. So we're gonna take this mass airflow numbers, which is pretty much telling the computer how much air is going through it. And since we're running lean, we actually have to tell it there's more air coming in so we can compensate with more fuel. So we would take that, adjusted, let's say by 2% higher mass flow numbers, which would indicate 2% more fuel, and these numbers just increased. So by doing that, back and forth, adjusting it very slowly, I'm tuning very slowly by 0.5% to 1% increments here, and right now I'm pretty much at my target wide open throttle position, which is 12.5 or 12.46. As you can see, my target lambda, and this is not accurate because this is not my tune, but I'll tell you right now how I have it set up on my tune. All my tables are targeting 12.46, and that's a good balance between performance and cooling for the cylinders here. And I'm pretty happy with the car right where it is. You know, the performance is greatly improved. I can feel the car pulling much more. I feel it in third gear where I would pretty much be redlining at around 100 miles per hour. Right now I can take it up to 107 miles an hour. So it definitely has more performance gains. The car just feels smoother. It wants to go. Now, one other additional thing that I'll probably make a separate video on about it later on, we actually did disable Vtec on this car right here, so you guys know it has a low cam and a high cam gear transition. The transition goes into economy cam, and we actually disabled that. So I'm gonna make a separate video probably talking about that, because that has a few minutes worth of talking in itself, but we'll talk about that. The car's running good, no adverse reactions. The only thing I'm trying to dial in now, again, is my short-term fuel trims. Now, a lot of this may sound like freaking hieroglyphics in a different language to you guys. I'm sorry, but we'll probably make videos explaining some of these things. If you guys are interested, just comment down below. But I'm going to talk to you guys about short-term fuel trims right now. You see, I've been having some recent issues because my fuel trims were dialed in for the most part. If you guys take a look at my fuel trims, let's take a look. Partial throttle I was dialing it in. You see, it's pretty close right here to 0. Just like a 2 degrees in the beginning. Here it goes a little bit lean, then it goes lean here. But we dialed that in over the course of the tuning period. Let me pull all these up for you guys. Okay, that was a short run, so that's insignificant right here. Let's take a look at this log. I'm not sure if all these data logs will have what I want to show you guys, but for the most part, nice and getting smooth. Again, the more you drive, the smoother these points will be. But we're hovering a little bit around -1 short-term fuel trims, which is pretty much dialed in. So recently what I did, I want my wide open throttle activation to kick in a little bit faster, right? I want to start running my wide open throttle map faster. I don't want it to kick in towards 4,000 or 5,000 RPMs. I want it to kick in a little bit earlier, just playing around with that activation time. So if you actually go on closed loop, you see your map, wide open throttle determination pressure. And I had my fuel trims dialed in again at the factory wide open throttle map based determination pressure. So what I did, essentially, I wanted to go and activate wide open throttle mode 5% faster. So we adjusted that, and since we adjusted that, I've been running the car. But the thing that I noticed with my short-term fuel trims, they're a little whack again. They're running a little bit rich. Look, this whole map here at low voltage range that the mass airflow is seeing, I'm running rich again. Here it looks normal, but then it goes rich throughout the majority of the voltage range, and then it kind of goes back to normal there. So I'm trying to figure that out. I mean, the car's running fine. I mean, obviously the oxygen sensor is compensating for all this. You won't really notice a huge difference, but for me, I need to fine-tune everything here. So I'm not sure why I'm seeing such fluctuations when I just adjusted the wide open throttle determination pressure. I'm still going to be adjusting this adjustment, wide open throttle adjustment pressure, and I want to dial it in so it's perfect. At this point, again, we are getting closer to the turbo Honda Civic R18 eBay build. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with everything. If you guys have any questions, tuning questions, subscribe to the channel, watch me and this journey here. This is all new to me. I just started tuning. I just started all this. So we're moving along pretty good. It's very frustrating, I'll tell you the truth. A lot of tuning, a lot of errors, a lot of adjusting. I mean, I'm driving with a laptop in my car every day, and every day I'm watching the tune, adjusting something. I'm running so many maps, guys, you guys don't even know. Probably ran close to 50 to 100 tunes just in naturally aspirated forms, tinkering around with this whole setup. I just wanted to throw a video out there today, guys, just to let you know what the hell's going on. I've been really busy with work, so it's hard to get all these videos out, but I'm gonna try my best and keep you guys up to date. So if you are watching the channel for the turbo build, just let me know you're here for that. Comment down below, leave a like button. We'll see you guys on the next video. And I have a whole playlist of the R18 turbo build that's currently happening as we're moving along. So if you wanna catch up on any content, go ahead, check that out, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.
I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along and see it's true, but the world is pretty cold. You might need a sweater too. I'ma put a ride on ya. Kid from California, trying to make it in life. In school they never taught ya. Dreams